Well, for some analysis of the last 48 hours, let's bring in someone who knows Washington well. Conservative commentator and former speechwriter for George W. Bush, David Frum, currently a senior editor at The Atlantic. Now, David, you wrote an article yesterday where you raised the possibility, especially based on that news conference yesterday with the two presidents, that it seemed like Putin had some kind of hold, some kind of sway over Donald Trump. Now, given President Trump's change of heart or clarification today, do you feel the same way?
Well, President Trump today read a script that he's read at various times in the past, in which he, with the words in front of him, said, I endorse what all the intelligence agencies unanimously say, that the Russians did interfere in the 2016 election. He never is able to adhere to that script for very long, and for a good reason. Because if he acknowledges that the Russians interfered, it opens the way to the next question. Did that interference make a difference? Remember how close this election was, that it was decided by tens of thousands of votes in just 3 states. Consider how large the Russian effort was, how industrial it was. Consider how much more we are learning about it all the time. And consider how still uncertain we are about exactly the connection between the Donald Trump campaign and the Russians. We know they were willing to accept Russian help. That's what Donald Trump Jr. took a meeting explicitly on that subject. So Donald Trump understands most of the time that once he admits the Russians intervened to help him, the next question will be, how much difference did it make?
But this notion that Putin may have something on Donald Trump, there are many Americans who would be quick to embrace that theory. Others who would sit back and say, sounds a bit like a conspiracy theory. In your article, you make a passing reference to, could it be bribery? Could it be blackmail? So let me ask you directly, what do you think it is?
When you move a magnet under a desk and we notice the iron filings move, you don't have to understand how magnetism works to notice that the two things are moving in tandem. I don't speculate what the nature of the hold that President Putin has over Donald Trump. I assume someday we will find out if it even exists. But what you can see is that Donald Trump consistently behaves in ways consistent with President Putin having a hold over him. And by the way, that is something that has been remarked by former directors of the CIA, former national intelligence directors, other senior intelligence officials who all have said, this looks like a hold. We don't know it, but we see the behaviors.
We have about 30 seconds left. 24 hours ago, people were talking about the White House and maybe even the Republican Party being in crisis. Given this correction by President Trump, is that the case tonight?
Crisis is the wrong word. It's a slow crumbling of the ground under their feet, because there is going to be more exploration of what the connections were. The last round of indictments from Special Counsel Robert Mueller showed that the Russians had stolen, had not just placed ads, but they stole crucial information that belonged to the Democratic Party. What happened to that information? That's going to be a very important question.
David Frum, really nice speaking with you.
Thank you, Aaron.